What's up, you guys? It's your boy Miguel giving you your daily dose of radiation. Today's video, we're covering X-ray tech versus ultrasound tech. What's the difference, the good and the bad? So to give you context, I am a night shift tech, X-ray tech to be exact. 7 on, 7 off. Been doing it for 4 years. Work a lot of overtime, so I do dabble in day shift. So as far as my knowledge in ultrasound is, I would say average, both just from interacting with them, and I have a family member who is an ultrasound tech, and I've sat down and talked to them or just compared between our modalities and stuff like that. So I have a set amount of good knowledge just based off of that, but there's certain stuff that, you know, a job to job, certain situations that you just have to be there to understand. That's where I can speak more heavily on X-ray versus ultrasound. I'm just giving you the knowledge that was given to me from my interview for my family member who does ultrasound. So, right off the bat, ultrasound makes more money than X-ray tech. Just giving you, just putting it out there. They do. Because they deal with more stuff. And they're in different boats than we are. So, for those who do not know, ultrasound does not use radiation. They do the little situation with the babies, as everyone knows, the babies, which is one of the more easier / funner part of being the ultrasound tech. That's what they've told me of doing it. Always they get excited when it's the babies because it's not as hard. But it's the more funner one. I've been told by my tech over here, who is my family member. Sometimes if they're not having a miscarriage, but if it's a normal baby, they enjoy that. So that is a perk, I suppose. So I would say that the pay, they make more. The places you can work, it can vary. Because like they have traveling jobs. You can kind of go a little bit the independent route with them versus us. Because there's people who are ultrasound techs and they have their, what we call the baby, like the pre-baby outside of your regular hospital ultrasound, like so you can get a little early view or whatever type situation. That does exist. And you don't need, like, you can buy a machine for like, I think it's like between $10,000 all the way to $20,000 for a machine. So you can go that route, independent, more easier, versus us who work with radiation. So it's a little bit more different. So the most common thing I've seen is their procedures take a little bit more longer than ours. I'll just keep right off the rip. Ultrasound does take longer than compared to regular X-rays. Ours, you can be literally within 30 seconds in and out. Theirs, they're just gonna be a little bit longer than that. Like, for instance, just in the hospital, they do take call too, as same as we do, but theirs is a little bit different because they can, like, just in my hospital, they can get dragged to like within 3 or 4 different hospitals. Our call is just for our own hospital. Like, we have different branches of our hospital, different sizes and stuff. And I would say that I was surprised that even as a student, I quickly realized when I was doing my shadowing of ultrasound, they will do their scan or their ultrasounding, and then at the end, they'll put their little note, and they had to put kind of what they saw. Almost like the little brief wiki notes for the rat. I'm not sure if they timestamp it or not, but they kind of like put kind of what they see in the notes, and they'll tell the rat. So that alone would be for me why they would get paid more than we do, just based off of that, because we as X-ray techs don't got to do that. We don't got to put I saw some pneumonia, saw some whatever. Like, we don't have to do that as X-ray techs, and I'm thankful, because Lord forgive, you give the wrong diagnosis, you get in trouble. The rat's like, oh, yo, why would you put this in the notes? Ain't nothing even right. Just that alone just deterred me from their whole thing, because I don't want to diagnose people. Kind of. So that alone is kind of frightening. What else? They both, usually they have, mainly it's mobile. They have like their portable little unit they push around. I'm not quite sure if they have like a stationary big one. I haven't seen one of those, but most of them are like the portable X-ray machines that they have their little portable unit and they'll like run around. I've seen different kind of versions, like newer and older, and how each one is used for certain things. Like there's certain ones that are for like different let me get the different, like, what's probes or whatever are used for different things. Like there's some for your throat, some for the lady parts, some for this and that. So different situations that we don't have to deal with. Our tube is for everything. One tube for all. We don't have, different tubes for stuff like that. So I would say that staffing wise, they are less staffed than we are. There's less ultrasound techs versus X-ray techs. And almost every single place that I've been to, like our different branches of our hospital, like for instance, there's the main radiology. We have two techs right there. They do have 2 ultrasound techs over there. Our ER has a max of 4 during the day, 2 at night. Their ultrasound techs are the same people who are in the main. So there's usually only 3 techs who hold both the main and the ER. So they can be running around. And even the patient outbuilding that we have, they have only 1 ultrasound tech over there, and then we have like two X-ray techs out there and 1 CAT scan. So there's that situation. So I could see how your workload could be different, because like maybe it's the techs that we had there and maybe they don't work to keep up with the pace, or I don't know. There's some stuff that I've seen as a student, or even when the other night shift tech shows up, that they've showed us that there's orders, I guess because their stuff takes so long to do, or because they do one and then they go to the stats order. Their order takes way longer to get done versus ours. Like there's stuff that, like, if we would have let our X-ray orders sit for that long, we would have gotten in trouble. We would have gotten a phone call. Like our manager would be like, hey, yo, what's going on? And they're like, no, we'll just, because like one ultrasound tech came in. There was stuff from 3 p.m. This is the night shift who come in at like 8 p.m. There was stuff from 3 p.m. The only time in my department there's stuff like that is, hey, the patient didn't want it. Hey, the patient's on blood thinners, or hey, the patient isn't good right now. They said to do it later during your morning portion. Like there's very few situations. Who knows? Maybe it's like that for them too. But when the few times I've seen them log in when they were within our department, they had a lot of stuff that I was just like, yo, day shift ain't pulling their weight, because I don't know. And with all radiology, you deal with the same day-to-day stuff. Like doctors don't order stuff right. The simple situation, why are we doing this? This is not necessary. The simple, my machine don't work. Old equipment. It's all the same. Like as far as like the day-to-day type stuff, it is kind of the same. Yeah, it's been your boy Miguel. See you on the next one.